started New Ballet in 2003, I had no idea the lessons I would learn from the children who walked through our doors, much less how they would change the world of dance. But the story is much bigger than just about dance. It's about creating a human environment where children can grow and learn, being nurtured toward discovering their unique gifts. All of this is what makes New Ballet Ensemble in school new. I grew up as a child of white privilege. I had everything I needed, and I loved ballet. It was my life. I graduated from Central High with a job waiting for me in Minneapolis and danced around the country before coming home in the late 90s. When I came home, many things had changed, but one crucial thing had not. I first discovered it as a young child, driving with my parents to take our beloved housekeeper and my advocate, Ella, home to South Memphis. Her neighborhood was so different than ours. Why, I would ask the adults at the wheel. Why do old people sit outside in the heat when they could go inside and be cool? Because there's no air conditioning. Why? That's just the way it is. As I grew to adulthood, I came to answer those questions for myself. I learned about how race and class separate us. The two different Memphises that I knew as a child were still here, with a different set of rules and different experiences for children growing up, with some children giving everything that they need and some children not having access to what they longed for. Ballet still belonged to the white city for the most part, with very few exceptions. People from the other city thought it wasn't for them. And as I made the rounds to garner support to start New Ballet Ensemble in school, I ran into the Berlin Wall between those two cities. A respected black leader asked me, "This is not relevant to our culture, so what are you going to do about that?" And still another said, "Is this just another top-down mission, meaning a place where white people try to tell black people what to do?" And then a friend, a colleague said, "Do you really think Memphis kids can do this?" Then something happened that I didn't expect. One of our first black dancers, a lovely girl, came to me. She was quitting. Her grandmother had told her that she was too dark-skinned to dance. That broke her heart, and it made me mad. She could dance. But the grandmother had touched on something real. Where were her role models? I knew right then that this was not going to be easy, but this was really important. Reaching for excellence and creating beauty should be the privilege of any child, regardless of where they come from. If Royal Ballet teachers were good enough for me, why weren't they good enough for kids from Orange Mound? So we started New Ballet as a place where all of these children from these different cities could come together, regardless of cultural barriers or self-perceptions, a place where they could create, work hard, and develop mutual respect, a place where not one child would ever be turned away because they couldn't pay for lessons. Not one. To do that, we had to chip away at the ingrown idea that, as James Baldwin once said, "None of this is for you." We also had to erase the fallacy that delivering excellence meant watering down high expectations and sacrificing superior training. A rich tradition of dance has always been in the African American culture, even when it was undercover. But what some of these kids don't think is for them are the tights. Well, for me and for the first teachers at New Ballet, our whole lives have been tights and tutus and point shoes. So we had to rethink. We had to rethink the whole deal. What were we going to do? We had to learn from the young people who came through our doors before we could teach them anything. So we threw the doors wide open, and children came in, hip-hop dance teams, street dancers, break dancers, and we talked, and we networked, and we danced. Finding talent was not difficult. That's the easy part. Children walked in owning their own style and their own unique capabilities. How would we harmonize that with our formal techniques so that we could have this conversation across cultures and create a new kind of dance and get into some kind of zone where something new could happen? This is an ongoing process. Ballet is traditionally a top-down world. Choreographers and teachers tell us what to do, and we do it. But street dancers, young dancers, learn from older dancers. The community is their teacher. So we learned to listen to those waves that rippled up from those young people, and then add our formal techniques to those questions in this conversation, as I said, that would take us to the next place. Classical ballet has always been our foundation. It always will be, because that's what young people need to get into college. It's also what you need to get into a professional dance company. But dancers from other styles have a tremendous advantage when they approach ballet. One of those was a guy from Westwood. He entered our doors as Charles Riley. He danced with us for 3 years, marrying his innate talent, his brilliant improvisations, with our formal ballet classes, developing a sense of line and technique. But now he's known to the world as Lil Buck. He's danced with Yo-Yo Ma. He's on tour right now with Madonna all over Europe. He's in Spike Lee's new movie, and the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and CNN have all celebrated him. And we're so proud of Buck. But we're just as proud of all of the successful students in our school. Olivia Grace Wolfe, for example, got 2 majors at Butler University, and now she's getting her master's in international studies. Looking at these children, it's like looking into our classroom. Rudy Peyton is on Broadway as the line captain in the Broadway dance show Swing. Shanice Matthews is dancing at college, Marymount Manhattan. This was her first week. She's on a dance and academic scholarship. Max Reed came from Orange Mound into our doors at age 14, and now he's starred on Broadway for 5 years. He's a choreographer, and he's home to teach the students that are growing up behind him. And Brianna Moore, a senior at Vanderbilt, studying the arts and human development. Brianna came home over the summer to lend her expertise to our staff. I hope I can hire her one day. This is New Ballet Ensemble. In our studios on York Avenue, those walls are crumbling down. And everyone is growing up together in the same classes with the same superior standard and the same high expectations at the same time. We want to banish the word outreach so that there is no other Memphis for us. We're creating human bonds and intertwining our lives so that we can raise the next generation together. Please welcome a young man who joined our tribe in 2nd grade. Justin Stewart will dance The Swan by Camille Saint-Saëns. This is wide open dance. Taking a dance style, in this case Memphis Jukin, usually performed to dubstep, and marrying it to classical ballet music. When it works, the dance is transformed, the music is transformed, the dancer is transformed, and through all of that, the audience. Thank you, Justin. Bravo. But we've learned one powerful fact. Access does not equal equity. We can open dance doors for our students, but what about the other doors? What about the education door, the motivation door, the social skills door? We've created this place where youth feel safe, supported, and creative, but how can we use this model to create a broader mission and serve more children? Make no mistake, we want to end the cycle of poverty for our students. And still for others, we want to see them succeed beyond the studios. We began in Orange Mound, a community full of pride in the face of daunting circumstances. We were at Dunbar Elementary in 2008 and decided with the principal to take a program to children where they could dance their way to a larger world. We're invested in Orange Mound for the long term, and the dividends have been substantial. Justin and Lee Anthony not only have danced with Yo-Yo Ma, but they've also danced in New York City and at Washington, D.C.'s The Kennedy Center. This year, we'll be in 2 more schools delivering the same programming, excellence in training, in a family environment where we provide transportation to our facility after school, mentoring for each student, and we're going to involve even more parents and grandparents. So much homework today is internet-based, so our students don't all have internet at home. 25% of our scholarship students don't. They use our computers at the studio to do their homework before and after dance classes. But as soon as we can fund it, we are going to have a computer lab where that can happen in an organized fashion. That's educational equity. Here's our progress report. The stuff is working. The average ACT in Memphis is a 16. At New Ballet Ensemble, it's a 25. This year, 7 students brought home $843,000 in scholarship offers. We started the Student Alumni Mentoring Initiative for 9th grade students who are college-bound, and since 2008, 100% of our students have gone to college. 100%. This is creative youth development. Creative youth development. In 2014, we won the National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award, one of the nation's top honors for out-of-school time programs. Michelle Obama gave the award to Breonna Brown and me when we visited the White House. We've done so much, and we have so much to do, and our broad mission is growing. But we can't forget that we're a pretty darn good dance school, too. Our advanced students and our teachers make up a fine ensemble. In 2009, Alistair McCauley of the New York Times said that the Nut Remix, a relevant nutcracker, was one of the 3 top nutcrackers in the country. And then, after that, the Kennedy Center commissioned 3 companies to come dance in the first series with the National Symphony Orchestra, New Moves Symphony and Dance. We were one of the 3. And we're always performing in as many as 20 schools a year, at the Levitt Shell, at the Cannon Center. Give us some space and we'll dance for you. A lot of wonderful things are happening, but here's the thing. There are only 104 children in our Creative Youth Development Program in Orange Mound. Think of the hundreds of talented, kinesthetic children that could benefit from this program. Think of the thousands in Shelby County. This program is not only that, because families are where the children go at night to their families. How can they give them an equitable life if we don't support them too? So we're starting that initiative in Orange Mound with a parent arts literacy and financial literacy program. The lessons we've learned can help anyone who wants to help children reach excellence through the arts. First, find students where they are. How many students do we know have been overlooked in English class who can write rhythmic rhyming couplets? That's the beginning of literature. How many students are tagging the walls with intricate graffiti who could go right here to the University of Memphis and major in the fine arts? Then, We must let students be who they are. We want to create an environment where there's an exchange of ideas flowing back and forth. That creates confidence and autonomy, tools for a successful life. And then finally, commit to being 360-degree educators. We can't just educate on a subject topic. We have to engage the whole child. We have to identify that wall together and tear it down. Recently, I heard David Coleman, the president of the College Board, talk to one important fact. After academic achievement, maintaining one sustained activity throughout childhood is the single indicator for success in college and beyond. One sustained activity, and the arts is perhaps the best vehicle we found for that. In 2008, Josephine Ramirez made a statement to the Community Arts Education Assembled Gathering. She said, "We are raising the capacity of all, so we no longer recognize our differences." That crystallizes my hopes for New Ballet and for Memphis, one child at a time. Thank you.